So around this time last year, America was obsessed with the Stanley Cup. And I don't know if they still are right now. I think it's fallen a little bit out of popularity. But I remember last winter watching video essay after video essay about the rise of the Stanley Cup. What is the Stanley Cup? Why is everybody so crazy about it? Especially reacting to the Stanley Cup Target Valentine's Day special editions where the Stanley Cup fanatics were lining up outside in the cold with their children to get this special edition pink red Stanley Cup. And then there was the videos of stampeding women around the Target aisles, fighting with each other, stepping on each other, just to get a $45 cup. This is ancient news. I am not doing this video is not about the Stanley Cup. I mean, if I wanted to do a video about the Stanley Cup, should have done it a year ago. But I remember watching these video essays, especially the famous or infamous video of the Stanley Cup stampede at Target. And I remember thinking that it was really funny. Just people going wild over a water bottle. They're in their struggle outfits, their struggle bun, their struggle Uggs, and their Lululemon tights, fighting each other for a cup. I have to admit, I'm confessing to you now that I laughed. I laughed when I saw that video, especially that person that was stepped on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you were that person that was stepped on. I'm really sorry, but you made me laugh. And I really hope that you were not injured or traumatized by being stepped on in this Stanley Cup stampede. I think they were just stepped upon lightly, like treaded upon. Who hasn't been treaded upon lightly in today's day and age? So all these video essays, and between you and me, I feel like YouTube is a place for people to make fun of people on TikTok. So all these video essays, they more or less have the same point, which is what is wrong with us as a society. Overconsumption is bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying overconsumption is good. I don't even have an opinion here. Overconsumption is bad, especially Stanley Cup overconsumption. Because really, when you look at videos of somebody with their wall of rainbow Stanley Cups, their 50 plus Stanley Cup collection, one color to match every outfit of the week, you're like, really? Why? How much money did you drop on a cup? And the general vibe is just exasperation. All this for a cup? You would wait outside with your freezing toddler in the dead of winter just so that you can buy a pink and or red cup. Why do you need accessories for your Stanley Cup? The food tray that you put on top of the Stanley Cup, the thermal sleeve that looks like a puffer jacket. Why do you need to dress up your Stanley Cup with charms or have a specific ice tray with the ring in the middle so that your straw goes straight through the ice? In shorts, in the comments in Instagram Reels, which is a very strange place, by the way. Instagram Reel comments are the most vicious place on earth. It occurred to me that in other parts of the world, people don't even care about drinking icy water. But in America, and I'm one of them, in America, I gotta say, I need my water to be cold. I have a friend, and she's from Singapore, and she doesn't care for cold water, if you can believe it. I went to a restaurant once, and I witnessed her ask for water with no ice. And that was a tall order because the water was coming out of a pitcher, and the pitcher was ice. So she really wanted that tap water. And I'm like, why don't you want ice? But anyways, I understand the Stanley Cup ladies' psychology because I need my water cold. So having watched all those video essays last year about Stanley Cup overconsumption bad, I have convinced myself that I will never buy a Stanley Cup. I don't want a Stanley Cup, nor do I need a Stanley Cup. And most importantly, I don't need a Stanley Cup because I have four hydro flasks. Here's my water bottle, my hydro flask in the 2017 colorway, and it's still going strong. I need to refill the ice though. It's a long story why I have 4 Hydro Flasks. One of them is my husband's, so technically I have 3, and they're all of different shapes and sizes. I use them all. If I ever get it together and make a Patreon, maybe you'll hear like an hour-long story of why I have 4 Hydro Flasks. And everybody will just quickly leave this Patreon. So I don't need a Stanley Cup. And most importantly, I have seen ladies with Stanley Cups just struggling out in the wild. I've seen ladies at the airport trying to juggle their infant and their Stanley Cup and their luggage, trying not to spill from the Stanley Cup. And I'm just sitting pretty with my Hydro Flask at the airport going, I'm not spilling anything. I could just roll this under my seat if I wanted to. So I was feeling incredibly content and kind of like self-satisfied with my Hydro Flask collection. It's kind of like a millennial clinging on to their skinny jeans and their short little socks, is that I clung on to my Hydro Flask. Because this is kind of like a millennial water bottle, isn't it? It's like a relic from the 2017 Visco Girl days, carrying around my Fjock Raven Kanken backpack, scrunchie on my wrist, like the Visco Girl look. One day, I was driving. Usually, as I'm driving, I get really thirsty. Get your mind out of the gutter, not like that kind of thirsty. I don't get thirsty that way. It's not as if I'm like reading Pride and Prejudice here thinking about Mr. Darcy's hand flex. Thirsty, okay? I'm thirsty, like parched thirsty. And so anyways, the point is that I was thirsty and I was at the stoplight and I needed a drink of water and I had my Hydro Flask just rolling around on the passenger seat because it doesn't fit in the cup holder. You know, at the stoplight, I had trouble opening the lid of this Hydro Flask because sometimes it could get stuck depending on how cold you make it. And believe me, I like it cold. I stuff it full of ice. And then when I opened the lid and took my drink of water, the ice kind of congealed and they spilled a little on me. And then I couldn't get the lid back on in time before the light changed. So I was like, oh shit, I couldn't get the lid back on. So I had to drive with this Hydro Flask half open between my legs and pray that it does not spill. Driving down the street like this with this open. I'm not going to open it right now because we could have an accident here. And in that moment, God help me. In that moment, I wanted a Stanley Cup. What can I say? I cannot judge the Stanley Cup lady, and I am terribly sorry to that person who fell down at Target and then was stepped on by her fellow Stanley Cup ladies. I'm terribly sorry. I kind of laughed at you because I thought the situation was a little absurd. It was a little funny, but you know, there's nothing funny about being stepped on. Like once somebody stepped on my foot and I wasn't laughing, but you know, we got all caught up in the judging of the Stanley Cup lady that we didn't see her pain. If you show me that video clip again, I'm not going to laugh. I'm not laughing. It's not funny. You shouldn't be laughing at people stepping on other people. I feel like a horrible person for laughing, and I probably am. Oh no, my rose broke. It's probably karma. So this video is about shopping. It's about overconsumption and shopping and buying things that we honestly don't need, but you bought them anyways because you were influenced by somebody online to do it. It's about overconsumption, I suppose. My name is Teresa, and this is all the stuff that I've been influenced to buy, and then more stuff that I am tempted to buy, but I need you to talk me out of it. Let's go. So today's topic is under the umbrella of overconsumption, of buying more junk than you need, of being influenced by influencers to buy junk that you don't need, or just influenced by like random Instagram ads or whatever, brand ads, to buy junk that you don't need. How much have we actually been influenced to buy? So this segment is all the stuff that I have been influenced to buy, either directly by an influencer or an ad or whatever. But when I piled it together, I realized that it's actually not that much stuff. I think I'm just very hard to influence. I can be influenced, but it's just really hard to get to me. And most of the things here are influenced by somebody from YouTube, like a YouTube influencer, which has more of my know, like, trust versus an Instagram influencer. In general, I don't really follow any influencers on Instagram. I mostly just use Instagram to follow friends or family, coworker, high school friends, acquaintances, and I follow fellow authors, fellow rom-com writers, or rom-com book accounts or whatever, those aesthetic rom-com book accounts, because that's mostly, I feel like I'm mostly Teresa the writer on Instagram and Teresa the crazy person on YouTube. And I don't need those two personalities meshing, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really follow any celebrities. I only follow one celebrity, and this is just really random and out of the blue and came from nowhere. The celebrity I follow is Noah Wiley. Noah Wiley, Dr. Carter from ER, because I used to have a giant, humongous crush on him in like the late 90s, early 2000s when I was in high school for like 20 something years. I haven't thought about him. And then one day I was like, what's Noah Wiley look like? I wonder if he's on Instagram. So I looked him up. He still looks pretty hot. He still looks good. He still looks like a seasoned, he's much older. He's like a seasoned version of Dr. Carter from ER. So I decided to follow him. But also he's like a cerebral kind of guy. He reads books. I follow people who read books. So of all the things that I have been influenced to buy, I would say that like 99% of them came from YouTube. Like YouTube channels recommending things. And these are very basic things. I would say like in total, I probably spent less than $100 or maybe even less than $50. The most basic thing that I've been influenced by is this hair tie. Yeah, this hair tie is different from other hair ties in that it's like a wider band. I'm always in the market for like a hair tie that doesn't pull my hair. And I've been very satisfied with this hair tie. It comes in a pack of 100 for like $8. And because I'm very frugal, like I really do in real life practice under consumption core or whatever. I'm very frugal with my hair ties. And this pack of 100, I've only used about 10. And they do give out after a time, like the elastic will just start showing. So I'll just pull out the elastic and then just use them even though they look shabby. So I still have like 80 of these. I feel like this could last me for the rest of my life or for a good like 10, 20 years before I need to buy another pack of hair ties. By the way, I'm not going to link anything in the description below because these are such inexpensive items that I really don't care about making a few cents. Just look it up yourself. I'm not trying to influence you here. Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duel. And this is just a powder to darken your eyebrows. I heard of this from Shea Whitney, and this was long time ago. This was like around 2018, and this is how much I've used it. I have not hit pan. But then again, I don't really wear makeup all the time. I have stopped wearing makeup after 2020, and I only wear makeup when I'm filming or sometimes for a special occasion. This was a good recommendation. This thing has lasted me for 7 years and still going on. So this is a makeup brush holding case, and at some point I believe it was a TikTok viral item, but I heard of it on YouTube. All it does is hold your makeup brushes and makeup. It has this little slidey door and it keeps the dust off your makeup brushes, and it's aesthetically pleasing. I bought it off AliExpress. I looked it up on Amazon and it was like $30. Then I checked it with AliExpress because most of these things are drop shipped anyways, and AliExpress was selling it for $8 or something. It's really shoddily made, like I could feel like if I yank this harder than it is or I hold this harder than it is, it'll just fall apart. But it has not fallen apart because its only purpose is to sit on my dresser and stay there and just keep my makeup brushes from getting dusty. Overall, I feel like it was a good purchase. It's aesthetically pleasing, but I wouldn't say that it's necessarily my style. This is more of like if you imagine a house decorated in Hollywood glam, this is what you would find in the bathroom of a Hollywood glam decorated house. Men, leave the room. This is for the ladies. Unless you also want to wear these too. So I was influenced to buy some underwear. Utility underwear is what I like to call it. I've only used it during light to medium cycles, not during heavy flows. Honestly, I like underwear with full coverage because I like everything to be covered and I want things to be contained, you know, especially during that time of the month. And if you're like some guy that's like, I don't want to know, Teresa, this is too much information. Well, you should know. You should know about everything that goes on down there. You should know about everything that I suffer and everything women suffer. You should know about flow cycles and how uncomfortable it is down there during heavy flows and the accidents involved. Like, you know, there's many accidents that could be involved in the washing of these because sometimes you have to wash it by hand. They're clean, by the way. They're clean. They smell like a spring meadow. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette that was popular, I don't know, 5 years ago. Let me show you. It smells like peaches. Here it is. There's some colors that I like more than others. I use the color Bellini and Cobbler and Luscious. I like Luscious. Luscious peach. That's what I like. And the funny thing is I don't follow beauty influencers, you know, because I don't really wear that much makeup. Makeup I do wear is kind of just drugstore makeup. It's not expensive makeup. So this is very strange, is that I was never influenced by makeup from any makeup influencer. Like, this didn't come from a recommendation from Bretman Rock or Jeffree Star or James Charles, blah, blah, blah. My husband watches this YouTube channel called Paul's Hardware. It's not a beauty channel. It's a tech channel. But a long time ago, Paul of Paul's Hardware, he was, as a joke, trying out his wife's eyeshadow palettes. And one of the things that he tried out was the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette that smelled like peaches. That influenced me to buy this. I mean, it wasn't like he was a makeup artist or anything, but the fact that he said that it smells like peaches, and I'm really into things that smell nice. Maybe it's being a 90s kid and having all those like scented markers or those scratch and sniff stickers. And it smells good. I like things that smell good. That's why my underwear smells so good. I really hope that nobody breaks in one day and decide to steal all my underwear and then smell it, because they smell so good. I swear I could just cover myself in my own underwear and just smell them all day long. Okay. What the fuck am I talking about? There was a time when I really wanted to just wear summer dresses everywhere. This is before cottagecore. This is before the whole cottagecore thing. I had this aspirational vision of myself walking around the streets of Italy or something in a summer dress with espadrilles, you know, that whole look. This one influencer, Julia Engel, she used to have a blog called Gal Meets Glam. She's changed her name since then, but anyways. And she had this very amazing outfit with espadrilles. I looked up her espadrilles and they were like $220. It's a little out of my price range for what I wanted to spend, so I just found some espadrilles that I thought looked just as good. These espadrilles. So she didn't really directly influence me. Like, I didn't buy the exact thing that she had, but I found a dupe. I've probably worn them like 4 times since I had them. They are comfortable in a way, but uncomfortable in a way. And then I just got over the summer dress phase, and there they sit in my closet, waiting for a day when I will just pull out some summer dresses and wear them. But now I'm just like, I'll just wear them with some sneakers and be comfortable. So that concludes this segment of all the things that I have been influenced to buy. And as you can see, I have not really been influenced to buy many things. As in all the things I have been influenced to buy, like this underwear, I've sufficiently used. Now I'm flinging it around and having a good time with it. I feel like I'm winning at this game of overconsumption, in that I have not been over-consuming very much. But now let's move on to the things that I want to buy, and you tell me if I should buy them. I'm kind of embarrassed to tell you because it's really stupid. So like, I'm reading the Kindle and I'm tapping it to change the page or sliding to change the page. This is a Kindle Paperwhite from like 2015, so it's pretty old. My wrists hurts as I'm reading my Kindle. Wouldn't it be great if there was a stand? Let's say I'm reading in bed, right? And I have a stand to hold the Kindle, and then I have one of those like Kindle Bluetooth page turners. So I just have this remote and I could just turn the Kindle's pages like this. So what do you think about that, guys? Should I buy it or should I not? I'm thinking not. I'm thinking like I can handle turning my Kindle. There's people out there with actual problems, like they have to, turn the pages of a book. I don't feel like holding the Kindle as I'm reading the Kindle, So So there you go. Another thing that's like always advertised to me on Instagram, because I'm a writer, is that free write machine. A lot of writers, we're distracted. We're distracted by everything online. In order to not be distracted, you need a device in order to write without being connected to the internet and being able to do other things. And trust me, if I'm on the computer and if I'm not focused on writing, I'll be everywhere except where I need to be. So that's why you need a distraction-free device to write. Part of me really wants one. I really want one. I want the Free Write Traveler because I think it looks really cute. Or there was a special edition, the Free Write Ghosts, because I'm really into, because I'm a 90s kid and I really like tech items that are clear, clear tech items. That's what I'm all about. We should bring that back. I wish the iPhone would one day come out in clear so you can see what's going on in there, like clear tech. That's my weakness. I also am a connoisseur of writing devices. It's like I have this Alpha Smart, which I painted mint. I actually have two of them because this thing is discontinued, and one day one popped up on eBay for like $12. Ow, I hurt my hair. For $12, so I bought this, and they're painted because I went through a phase where I like to just take things apart and spray paint things. Oh my god. I just realized, remember the lady, the sad beige millennial lady spray painting her children's things? Well, I spray painted this. I didn't spray it sad beige. I sprayed it like my favorite color at the time, which is aqua, mint, turquoise, whatever. I have two of these. In case you're like, Teresa, why do you need two of these? It's because this is discontinued, guys. They stopped making this. And if I didn't snap this up on eBay for like $12, by the way, then this is no more. But then later on, like, it's been resurrected as a free write. But the free write is like $700. The Free Write Traveler is like $500 something. But the difference is that it has a bigger screen and it has mechanical keyboards. Like these keys suck. Before you say like they just take up space, I have actually, within this month, I've actually used both of them. And I finished my novel, guys. I mean, the first draft of my novel. But remember, there was like a video and I said, I'm so screwed. I'm only on chapter 2 and it's August and I needed to get this novel done by the end of the year to meet like a Christmas deadline. Well, technically I blew the Christmas deadline. There's no way I'm getting a book out before Christmas. I finished the novel and I wrote them on these. Like I wrote every single file as a chapter and I finished this goddamn novel. So anyways, I kind of want the Free Write Traveler at $500, but I have two of these. So I probably don't need it, but I want it. And I'm open to sponsorships. Free Write. I'm open. I don't accept a lot of sponsorships. So you guys should be blown by the stuff that I've turned down because it doesn't make sense for this channel. But I need another device that I don't really need. One of the things that I have been influenced to buy, not by a specific influencer, but just by a trend, is some tin fish. Remember there was this trend called tin fish date night where you just open up a bunch of aesthetically pleasing tin fish, make a charcuterie board out of it, and I like the photos that I've seen. So I was at World Market one day and I found these very aesthetically pleasing tin fish, and by aesthetically pleasing I mean like the packaging attracted millennials. So I bought like some lemon flavored sardines, mostly because there was lemons on the packaging, and then I bought some sriracha flavored tin salmon, which turned out to be $14. There was no price on the shelf. Figured it was like around the ballpark price of like $3, $4 for the sardines. And I took it to register and I'm like, that's the most I've ever paid for a can of tin fish, let me tell you. And I got it home and let me tell you, the sardines just taste like sardines. I don't even like sardines, guys. The salmon was okay. Was it $14 okay? Yeah. I guess you can say I was influenced to buy tin fish by a TikTok movement, and overall it was kind of disappointing. The sun is setting and I'm about to look real unflattering. It's time for me to go. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you've enjoyed me, then consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see ya next time.